All right. So today I want to talk to you about the healing journey. And this video is not going to be about science and physiology and biology and all the good stuff that everyone likes to hear about. Because here's the thing, I've been in this industry 25 years. And what I've seen over 25 years is the amount of information that you have at your fingertips to heal is growing and growing and growing to the point where it's doing two things. It's overwhelming you because one person says, jump, or this is how you cook an apple pie. And the other person says, don't jump, or this is how you cook an apple pie. The end result's gonna be the same sometimes, or maybe it's not, but it's gonna create confusion because you're like, well, you say this and he says this. And she says this, but you say that. It gets really paralyzing. The second thing it does is it loads you with information, and your healing journey is not a biology experiment. It's not a chemistry experiment. It's not research, and it's being turned into that. Information, right, and knowing about something and just keep learning and learning and learning is great, but at the same time, it does not help you heal, and here's why. Information that is never truly applied in a personalized way is dead. Right? It's like buying a book and reading it, closing it, putting it down and moving on. It's dead information. When we take that information and we say, this is all I need from that information, and we apply it to ourselves, we build awareness, we fine tune, right? We learn to feel again. We say, this works for me. Great, let me replicate that. Or this doesn't, how do I fine tune that, right? We're building awareness, we're building up capacity over time. Over time, this creates wisdom. This creates knowledge, right? So when we apply that information, it becomes knowledge. We know what we need to thrive. We know what we need in certain situations to anchor and resource ourselves. We know that if we have a busy day, how to navigate that, right? So the day doesn't overwhelm us and empty our bank account. That we still have resiliency at the end of the day because we live in a culture that's moving a million miles an hour. Now, when we take that knowledge and we teach it to other people, whether in academia or certifications or to our children, then it becomes wisdom, right? And I think no one's really getting to that knowledge and that wisdom part. Everyone's just like more information, more courses, more Instagram, more posts, more YouTube. I gotta learn. The problem is social media is not a consultation. It's a conversation. Now, sure, if you want to fix your toilet, go for it. That's a great way, or you want to learn something, but even still, right? It's a conversation, it's not a consultation. That's why we have plumbers, and that's why we have professionals to do what they do to help you. Same thing within the healing industry. The problem is it's become so muddied because there's so many professionals that are teaching you that the body is one system, that you can treat that one system, that all you need is labs and supplements, which is no different than Western medicine, which is labs and medications, that you don't have to change, you just have to do these things to heal. They're teaching you cookie cutter processes. They're disempowering you because they're putting themselves in your driver's seat and telling you what's wrong with you, and you need to do these things and do these labs to fix what's wrong with you. So it's a really broken system, right? But I'm here to tell you that along the way, most of you get stuck. Most of you get paralyzed and most of you get overwhelmed. So I just want to remind you of 6 simple things that can maybe empower you or help break through that plateau or make you feel less confused and make you feel less paralyzed. And also make you go, you know what? What I'm doing is not working and I need to do it differently. I need to find a different practitioner, or I need to just work with myself. Or I need to get off social media right now. And the list goes on, right? Not every YouTube and Instagram post and Twitter post and whatever has to be deep in science to actually benefit you. I think a lot of them, we need to switch it because I think it's overloading with information. So here's the first thing. I have some notes. I just kind of want to read them and I'll elaborate. First, it's going to take you longer than you think. Be realistic. If it's taking you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years to get here, you are everything from conception until now. Embrace the journey, let go of the destination. You have to think about it. If it's taking you 5, 10, 15, 20 years to create debt, – It's not going to take you 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 days of a program to unwind that debt. 30 Honor your story, embrace your story, give your body a little bit of space and grace and say, I've had pain for 20 years, right? It's going to take me time, but at least I'm taking the steps to pay off my debt. And if you're $1 million in debt, it's going to take time. But just remind yourself along that journey, whoa, I'm still in debt, but I'm actually making progress, right? I think a lot of us have this Amazon Prime mentality within the health industry, and it doesn't belong there. Right? It's teaching you that you can do a program in 30 days, fix your blood chemistry labs and fix your pain and fix everything. And that's not true, right? We are everything from conception until now, right? You are everything. You can't separate that social and psychological aspect of who you are from your biology. And no one's taking into that account as well. No one's saying, who are you? How do you feel? How do you get here? We're just like food, diet, supplements. It has to change, my friends, right? So understand that if it's taking you a while to get here, it doesn't mean it's going to take another 30 years. You have to embrace that piece and remind yourself that you're deciding now to create change. And now you're slowly moving in the opposite direction and creating shifts. It's going to take time, but with time and consistency and patience, you're going to heal. Number 2, you're in control. You're always in control. We're often taught to hand over that control to practitioners to helicopter health and heal you with labs and protocols. This is what I said a little bit earlier. But here's the truth. You're always in control of your habits and your actions, and those shape your outcomes. The worst thing you can do is when you work with someone is allow them to push you to the side, disempower you, and plop themselves in the driver's seat and say, this is what you need to do this, do this, do this. If they're not asking you questions, if they're not asking you about your day, your week, if they're not asking you about your wins, what's right with you, right? All these little things, find someone new to work with because they're disempowering you. They're putting you in prison, and when you're done with them and they move on, you're not gonna know how to move on because they provided you with information that's not even personalized to you. When that book is closed at the end of those consults, it's not knowledge. You're not gonna know how to move on. Your habits, your behaviors, and your actions dictate your biology, and you're the only one in control of that, right? Healing is about feeling empowered and waking up every day knowing you're in control, right? And that everything that you do has an impact on your biology. I think that is the most powerful thing that people are actually taking away from you. Number 3, drop the hustle. The healing hustle is just another version of an overdrive culture. You must slow down and truly heal. Do it differently. You have to think about how you got here and say, I did this to get here. This is my journey. I got to do it differently. One of my mentors say, if you want to help someone, teach them to do the opposite of what they've done. Easier said than done. But remember, you can't take this hustle, this culture that's moving a million miles an hour and ignoring our habits and behaviors and just using labs and supplements and telling you to, micromanage your health and helicopter, everything that you think it's going to heal you because it's not. It's going to make you worse, push you down rabbit holes, and it's going to create more overwhelm and more anxiety. It's like the journey to become healthy is now unhealthy. How do you slow down? And how do you do it differently? Because if you do it differently than how everyone's doing it, and you do it differently than you've done it, right, you're going to heal. Because what got you here won't get you there, right? Number 4, you might not feel like it's working, right? I've been in pain. I understand what it feels like. But think about it. If you're $1 million in debt, right? And you say, I want to start healing. You're deciding to go the other way. You're deciding to learn how to live differently and do things differently. So to kind of basically live in a way where you're saving money, you're able to spend a little bit of money, pay your bills, but also you're paying off your debt at the same time. This is an amazing way to live, and it feels good in the body, right? But it takes time, as I mentioned in that first, tip or thought, right? But if you're $1 million in debt along the way, you might say, oh, man, you might have one of those days, just feeling down or bad or depressed or overwhelmed. Just remind yourself you have 2 decisions. You can say, damn it, I'm still in debt. I'm $500,000 in debt. This sucks. That's not going to be empowering. That's not going to move you that way. That's going to move you that way or keep you stuck, right? And this is why a lot of people are stuck. Or you could take a step back and respond and say, wow, this is hard, right? This is the hardest thing I've ever done. but for the first time in my life, I'm $500,000 in debt. I started with $1 million. I'm finally moving in the right direction. I'm finally saving money. I can finally pay my bills and spend a little money. And I'm finally paying off my debt. And this is a journey. And I'm finally moving in the right direction. And that is very empowering. It's very uplifting. And it's going to help you move that meter in the direction you want it to go, right? Fifth, perfection is not healing. Perfection leads to stress, shame, and burnout. Instead, try this formula. If you start living plus consistency plus time equals healing. I think the word healing, I don't really like it anymore because it's been turned into this, in order to heal, you need labs and supplements and modalities. That's not healing. Healing is living, because when you live more, you feel better, right? And that's the truth. Well, and living encompasses everything. It's your habits, behaviors, your nutrition, your rhythms, your hobbies, your resourcing. What do you do to make yourself smile? But everyone's so focused on healing, it's about perfection. I eat clean. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I cook my food. I don't know why I have HCl issues or a GERD. I've done parasite cleanses. I don't know why I can't heal. I'm doing all the things that you talk about, but I'm not healing. Why? Because you're striving for perfection, right? And you're not living. You're not living. You're so focused on healing that every day is about manipulating and fixing a symptom, right? And you're forgetting about all your habits and behaviors that support your biology. And the very behaviors that you're doing are actually influencing you in the wrong direction and keeping you stuck. So let go a little bit, right? Have fun. Think about how you can have fun every day. Think about the things you can do during your day, even if you have a busy day, even if you work a lot, even if you have 5 kids. What can you do, even if it's for a minute, 10 times a day, or a minute at a time, or 5 minutes, 3 times, whatever it is, right? That you can do that fills up your soul, that brings you joy, right? That helps you create a lifestyle that supports you. Because if you give the body what it needs, nature will do the rest. Last, make it joyful. Slow down, have fun. Create a life that makes you smile, and healing will follow. Again, I think we have to start living more. It's not about feeling better. It's about getting better at feeling. And I think there's a lot of people that are trying to heal and they're in pain and they're miserable. And now the journey to become health is making it more miserable. And then I say, well, what do you do for yourself every day beside work or take care of your kids? What do you do that anchors you and resources you and brings you joy? Nothing. I wake up and I do my stuff and I do my red light and I take my supplements. I eat within an hour and I go to work and I do this and I come home and I work out and I do this and do that. We've become robotic. If you're not having fun, there's no point in doing it, because life should be fun. And when you actually begin to live more, you're going to feel better. We have to start making this healing journey more fun again. And I think when people start living more and separate from that healing piece, a lot of people are not only going to heal, but they're going to find a lot of joy. I'm out.